Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 89 based on novel. So let's start. After Bing Shin released the poison mantien, the breath all over his body was sluggish. Obviously, although the poison mantien had been displayed, the consumption was too great for him. Let's go first. Bing Shin's eyes moved, and then her figure turned gently. Because Bing Shin was protecting her body with green fighting chi at this time, and they were surrounded by green poisonous chi all around them, so Bing Shin quietly left, and it was difficult for Master Lu to notice. Want to go? Do you think you can change your current situation by displaying this poison? Then I have to say that you are very wrong. Your poisonous man is really powerful. If you change it to an ordinary strong man, it's scary and ferocious, but unfortunately it's me. Master Lu said proudly, looking for Bing Shin, but no figure was found, and even Bing Shin's breath was hidden by him. After Master Lu finished speaking, he was also flustered, and slowly raised his forehead. A rare wave of death appeared in the corner of his eyes, and then the inconspicuous silver bracelet on his wrist instantly became bright. That's... Bing Shin was about to leave here with the help of the spread of poisonous gas in the sky, but she was shocked to find the light from the silver bracelet in Master Lu's hand beside her. The silver bracelet in Master Lu's hand emits a very dazzling light. Even if the two of them are in the deep green poisonous gas, they are also attracted by this light. Not good. The next moment, Bing Shin suddenly realized something, and ran away. An unease emerged in Bing Shin's heart. Foundry. How could I forget that Master Lu was the most terrifying foundry in the entire Xian Santian? The most terrifying thing for a foundry is the endless variety of magical weapons. The immortal beam ring. Master Lu's eyes were slightly closed, and then the silver hand at the wrist emitted a dazzling light. The next moment, the silver hand fell off from Master Lu's hand, and then turned into a slap-sized halo. Above the light, a terrifying sealing force emerged. Go! At the same time, Master Lu's pupils suddenly opened, and then the Shuxianzai standing in front of him seemed to have wisdom and whistled away at the location of Bing Shin. Go away! Seeing this, Bing Shin realized that since the moment the so-called immortal beam ring appeared, she seemed to be locked in. No matter how you change your position, you can't escape the perception of this bunch of fairy rings. Let's capture it if you can. After Master Lu released the Shuxian ring, he quietly struck the rock beside him, and his whole body was constantly releasing the poisonous gas. Boom boom boom. Bing Shin saw that the bundle of immortal rings was about to come to her, her jade hand slightly raised, and a terrifying poisonous fighting chi attacked it directly. Xu Xianhuan is quite spiritual, and seems to have discovered Bing Shin's attack. Even if it is approaching Bing Shin at high speed, facing Bing Shin's attack, the palm-sized halo turns around and directly avoids Bing Shin's attack in the past. Boom boom boom. As Xu Xianhuan avoided Bing Shin's attack, Bing Shin's terrifying attack created a huge pit dozens of feet in size on its solid rock path. Boom. Xu Xianhuan drove directly in front of Bing Shin in the next moment, and then split into two halves when Bing Shin was a little weak. At this moment of crisis, Bing Shin realized that something was wrong, and immediately used up the last trace of vindictive energy to condense an energy poisonous insect. The energy poisonous insect just appeared, and it left here under the cover of green poisonous gas, not knowing where to go. Where? Dong, dong, dong. After Xu Xianhuan split into two halves, she instantly went to Bing Shin's body. When attached to Bing Shin's body, they suddenly merged into one, directly trapping Bing Shin's body. The white light of the immortal ring just bound Bing Shin, and Bing Shin suddenly felt an extremely weak feeling spread throughout her body. That is a powerful seal. Under the sealing power of this bundle of immortal rings, Bing Shin's strength at this time is only at the level of a 3-star fighting emperor. This bundle of immortal level sealing power actually suppresses Bing Shin, who is at the perfection level of the 8-star Do Emperor, and only has the strength of the 3-star Do Emperor level. It is truly terrifying. Let go of me. Bing Shin heard the words and struggled desperately. But Bing Shin found that the more she struggled, the more obvious the weakness in her body. Hey, if you are hit by my immortal beam ring, even if you are a real immortal fighting powerhouse, you can only obediently capture it. Master Lu on the side was also pleased. Let's go, brother Chen Xin, I have bound her. Master Lu said to the Pill King Chen beside him. Dan Wang Chen has a gentle heart, but his eyes become hot. Binding this Bing Shin, then the fire Chidan is also close at hand. Go. Dan Wang Chen heard the words and jumped directly from the rock. Although there was already green poisonous gas all over the place at this time, and the visibility was almost zero, but thanks to the white light emitted by the fairy ring, it was very good to identify the direction. Don't worry, I have no ill intentions, we are just here for the fire chidan. Master Lu came to Bing Shin and said. Yes, the fire unicorn pill we used before. Pill King Chenshin, who was next to Master Lu, also laughed. Dan Wang Chenshin and Master Lu were so close to Bing Shin, just now they saw through the thin veil that Bing Shin's appearance was a beautiful woman, with big eyes and short, round eyelashes. It is indeed only for the fire chidan, and there is not too much entanglement. Humph. Pill Valley Pill King Chen Shin, Master Lu of Shenling City, you are taking this by chance, let our sect master know, the consequences are. Bing Shin snorted coldly. The master of the poison sect is indeed powerful. If she is here, the two of you will only have the chance to escape. It's a pity that your suzerain is not here because he is in charge of everything, said Master Lu. Forget it, let's take the fire chidan and leave as soon as possible. I always feel a little uneasy in my heart. Pill King Chen said slowly. Anyway, you are a rich man, so you can decide. After Master Lu finished speaking, he did not stare at Bing Shin, but stood directly aside. Do Qi was pouring out of his body, and a huge wind appeared, and then it slowly blew. The poisonous gas is scattered all over the place. This is the fire chi pill. Pill King Chen Shin directly invaded the exquisite collection ring in Bing Shin's hand with his powerful soul power, and then took out a rather familiar pill. In a rather expensive jade bottle, a long and sized medicinal pill slowly stood up. Even with the isolation of this jade bottle, the medicinal pill emanated from the darkness. The invisible fluctuations made Dan Wangchen's heart shine. It's really a fire unicorn. It seems that Do Xian is promising. Dan Wang Chen's pupils had extremely hot fluctuations, and he held the jade bottle tightly in his hand, and said excitedly. Even if Dan Wang Chenshin is already a second-rank emperor alchemist at this time, but he has only broken through the 8-star duty and has just been promoted to the 9-star duty, but because of this, Dan Wang Chenshin also knew about it. If you want to be promoted to the immortal rank alchemist like their Pill Valley Master, then you must first have the strength of Do Xian, so there is a scene where Pill King Chen Shin has an idea about this fire chi. Master Lu, let's go. Dan Wang Chenshin said to Master Lu next to him after 3 confirmations. Just as Dan Wang Chen was ready to leave with a heart full of joy, a hot feeling replaced the poisonous gas in the sky. Careful. This is a formation. After Master Lu finished speaking, he instantly protected him in front of King Pill. I laughed at this thing. A funny voice sounded, and then the Pill King Chen Shin saw a black and white shadow fleetingly, and then the jade bottle in his hand was taken away. This is fighting immortal powerhouse. The next moment, Master Lu suddenly realized something, and exclaimed, How holy is your excellency? It's quite shameful to do this. Pill King Chen snorted coldly with a gloomy face. If it weren't for the terrifying strength of this mysterious person, I'm afraid Dan Wang Chenshin would have shot directly. They worked so hard to get this fire chidan, but in a blink of an eye, they made a dowry for others. With such a huge gap, Dan Wang Chen couldn't help but feel a little angry. The well-known Dan Wang Chenshin and the Emperor rank 9th grade caster are also quite shameful, so there is no need to scare me like this. Xulo was covered by a black cloak, so there was no need to worry about being recognized by the two of them. Out, the fire unicorn in his hand swayed a few times, facing the two people. Damn it, you're actually enjoying it, this old bastard. Even with the arrogance of Pill King Chen Shin, he immediately scolded him. This person is very strong. At least when the fire chidan was taken from you, the power of life and death blended together. It was too terrifying. We could only retreat first. Master Lu said solemnly, because he felt it from Xulo. A rather trembling force. Only when they reach the level of their 9-star Do Emperor can they become more clear about the terrifying gap in each of the 9 turns, not to mention the terrifying degree of the fusion of life and death on the body in front of them. Only Do Xian can have it. Yep. However, what are these flames around us? Pill King Chen Shin also deserved to be a person from Pill Valley, and calmed down the next moment. Although the value of this fire chidan is quite high, under the choice of life and fire chidan, there is no doubt that only the former will be chosen. This, it seems to be an array. Master Lu felt a little bit, but said in surprise. At this time, the two of them had already lost the green poisonous gas around them, but what replaced them was an extremely hot wave. Flames could be seen everywhere, only the place where the 3 of them were, Master Lu, had a gap, and the other places were filled with flames. It felt like it was like being in a sea of fire outside. Ads by Pub Future. What a terrifying power of flame. This kind of control strength, I am afraid it can be comparable to the power of the sect master to control poison. Bing Shin said a little weakly, although the fire Chidan was taken away, but now he is also fierce. Phew. It wasn't that Bing Shin didn't want to stop Pil King Chen Shin from taking away the fire Chidan, but it was because the recoil of the fairy ring was too terrifying, so Bing Shin couldn't help it. Formation. There are not a few of us who know how to use the formation technique in Shen Santian, but most of them are just a few sidewalkers. The ones who can really use the formation technique are really pure. It seems that only the bamboo embers in the burning incense pavilion. Dan Wang suddenly remembered. Bamboo Jin, that's the first mage of the entire Shentian Santian. If this person is really him, we will be in trouble. Master Lu said, staring at the mysterious figure not far away. Leave here first and talk about what Wu Chidan said. Let's see fate. Dan Wang Chen gritted his teeth with a bit of heartache, but this was something he couldn't do. When Master Lu heard the words, he glanced at the calm Pil King Chenshin beside him in surprise. This was not like the Pil King Chenshin he knew at ordinary times. This Pil King Chenshin asked himself to be moved this time, but he offered quite a lot of conditions. If he returned empty-handed, then this Pil King Chenshin would have lost everything. Don't look at it, this formation is a bit weird, let's break it first, otherwise the two of us will be more fortunate today. King Dan found Master Lu's surprise, and then explained. Okay. Master Lu smiled when he heard the words. The next moment, Master Lu directly released the immortal bundle that bound Bing Shin. With the disappearance of the immortal ring, Bing Shin fell down instantly, and the feeling of weakness in the body continued to spread throughout the body. Even if the immortal ring had been detached, the huge sealing force contained in the immortal ring made it so Bing Shin would be hard to move for a while. Dan Wang Chenshin and Master Lu worked together to fight against the formation arranged by Xulo. In the formation, there are flames everywhere, and the temperature of the flames is extremely high. Even King Pil Chen, who has been dealing with flames, can't help but frown. Drink. Master Lu and Dan Wang Chenshin drank at the same time, and then the terrifying fighting spirit instantly filled their bodies. Two huge fighting chi just appeared, and the flames around the body were instantly extinguished, but before the two of them had time to be happy, terrifying flames were emerging. In the next moment, the flames around the body violently wriggled and condensed into a flaming python, swallowing the snake letter from time to time, and the snake letter accompanied by the terrifying flame grudge constantly filled the flame python's body. Damn it! This flame python actually has a lot of wisdom. Dan Wang Chen Shin saw at a glance that this flame python was unusual, and immediately became vigilant. Pil King Chen Shin had just broken through to the 9-star Do Emperor some time ago, and now he is at best a 9-star Do Emperor, not even a 9-star Do Emperor. And Master Lu is a rank 5 9-star Do Emperor. It's just that the two of them at this time were quite embarrassed by the flame python. Originally, the neat clothes of the two of them smelled burnt, and some faint flame burn marks appeared on their bodies. Cannot hesitate any more. One strike. You must leave here. Master Lu said firmly. Master Lu knows that although this formation is not strong, as time goes by, Master Lu can feel that the power of flame in this formation seems to be constantly getting stronger. If it is delayed like this, I am afraid that even Master Lu will not be able to solve it. Chenshin, hold it back. Give me a few minutes. After Master Lu finished speaking, he sat down and settled down, as if an extremely terrifying offensive was brewing. Okay. Dan Wang Chen heard the words, nodded secretly, and then dealt with the terrifying flame python. The little doll of the poison sect. Zhu Veteran, who was the center of the formation, put away the fire Chidan and murmured. Our Pavilion Master really has a deep love between sons and daughters. Not only with the Pavilion Master of Wanhua Pavilion, but also with the sect master of the poison sect. Zhu Laro said helplessly, and then the figure disappeared strangely in place. When he appeared in the next instant, he appeared beside Dan Wang Chenshin and the others. With a wave of old Zhu's palm, a terrifying handprint of energy passed by Pil King Chenshin in an instant. No. Upon seeing this, Dan Wang Chen hurriedly shouted, just trying to stop this old Zhu's attack, but he unexpectedly slapped the weak Bing Shin away. This person seems to remember what the sect master once said. Although Bing Shin was weak, when Zhu Laro pulled himself away, he clearly couldn't feel any dangerous aura from the energy handprint. Gentle power. After the old General Bing Shin was pulled away, he didn't stay here too much. Pulling Bing Shin was a strange move, and then slowly disappeared in the eyes of Pil King Chen Shin. With the departure of Zhu Laro, this formation is not self-defeating. What about the bamboo embers of the burning incense pavilion? Dan Wang Chen muttered viciously, then looked at Master Lu beside him. Let's go back first. Seeing this, Master Lu reluctantly stretched out his hand. As Xulo left with Bing Shin, two shadows kept rushing towards here in the distant sky. Senior. Bing Shin said weakly. For some reason, Bing Shin seemed to be able to feel some rather soft aura from Elder Zhu. It looks like the two of them shouldn't be chasing after them. Elder Zhu stopped and murmured, "Eat it. It's good for your injury." After Xulo looked around, he took out a jade bottle from his hand and said to Bing Shin. The whole body of the jade bottle was pitch black, but what was contained in it was an elixir the size of a longan. Even through the jade bottle, Bing Shin felt a terrifying power from the medicine pill with her powerful strength. This elixir is absolutely extraordinary. This was Bing Shin's first thought. Bing Shin was not a hesitant either, not to mention that the injury in her body was not serious. She simply stretched out her jade hand and took the jade bottle in old Zhu's hand. The jade bottle was just taken over, and old Zhu's face showed a touch of relief, but Bing Shin, who was beside him, didn't care. Just after the jade bottle was started, a gentle energy continuously radiated from the jade bottle. Bing Shin gently opened the cork at the next moment, and immediately, a very strong danxiang emerged. Then Bing Shin swallowed the medicine pill directly. Gulu. Bing Shin swallowed it down the throat, and the medicine pill was like gunpowder to be ignited. As the medicinal pill entered the body, the power of the seal remaining in the body of Bing Shin gradually turned into an invisible ripple, rushing towards the surroundings because it was sealed by the immortal beam ring. Thank you, Senior. Bing Shin was overjoyed when she saw this, because the power of the seal of this bundle of immortal rings, I am afraid it was quite difficult. Now that the power of the seal is broken, Bing Shin is naturally happy. Since your injury is no longer serious, you should go back as soon as possible. Seeing this, Elder Zhu nodded with relief. Pavilion Master, this is all for you, you can't be ashamed next time. Old Zhu thought to himself. But, Senior. Bing Shin's eyes slightly wrinkled. Although the strength of this mysterious powerhouse should have reached at least the level of a half-immortal, the importance of that fire unicorn to their poison sect is unique. If there is no such medicine, I am afraid that someone in the poison sect will not be saved, so this is why Bing Shin insists on protecting this fire chidan. How? Little doll, what else do you have to do? Seeing this, Xulo was slightly surprised. Senior, I know you are extremely powerful, but this fire chidan is very important to our poison sect. Without it, someone who terrified our poison sect would die. So you are willing to ask Senior to return the fire unicorn to me. For this reason, Bing Shin will be a cow and a horse. After Bing Shin finished speaking, she suddenly knelt down on her knees in the direction of old Zhu. Oh, this thing is also very important to me. Elder Zhu said helplessly. Just when Bing Shin was weak, he directly took the pill from the Pill King Chen Shin. He thought that he had fooled Bing Shin without knowing it, but how could Lao Zhu expect that Bing Shin would still be there? After taking a look, he actually knew that fire chidan was on him. Senior. Bing Shin's voice changed, not as cold as before, with some tenderness and stubbornness in her voice. You'd better go back, don't think about this. Elder Zhu seemed to have made a difficult decision, and then said. Although the sect master of the poison sect is a real powerhouse of fighting immortals, and the sect master of the poison sect has some inseparable relationship with the master of the burning incense pavilion and even the master of the Wanhua pavilion, he is still inseparable from the real fighter. Compared with the Fairyland, the latter is undoubtedly more tempting. Damn it. Bing Shin heard the words, and a burst of loss appeared in her heart, and then the next moment, the breath of Bing Shin changed instantly. A majestic killing intent suddenly emerged from his body, and then Bing Shin didn't hesitate, staring at Elder Zhu with cold eyes. At this time, Elder Zhu had already put away the fire unicorn pill, and his figure looked rather strange under the cover of the black cloak. Give it up, little girl. Xulo felt the killing intent at the moment when Bing Shin's killing intent emerged, but the difference in strength between the two was too huge. Bamboo Laro's body is as innocuous as a scratch. Boom boom boom. The seemingly terrifying work hit Xulo, but Xulo remained motionless, letting Bing Shin's attack fall on him. The attack fell on Xulo, as if a drizzle of goose feathers fell on the person, and he could not feel any pain at all. Ah, it's really stubborn. Elder Zhu sighed as he got in the car. Let's go, it's inevitable that someone will harbor ill will towards you. By the way, remember to say hello to me when you see your sect master. Fenxiang Pavilion Zhujin. After Xulo finished speaking, he just turned around and was about to leave, but suddenly felt an invisible pressure. There can only be one reason to make such a terrifying oppressive force even for a half-immortal level powerhouse like Elder Zhu. A real fighting fairy. Xulo suddenly turned around and looked around, and was shocked to find that two women appeared beside Bing Shin at some point. One woman, Xulo, still had some impressions, and it seemed that she was the woman who came to the auction with her. It's just that when General Xu turned his forehead slightly, he found a middle-aged woman slowly helping Bing Shin. "Are you all right?" The middle-aged woman smiled lovingly, and then said while supporting Bing Shin. Sect Master. "I'm fine," Bing Shin said tremblingly. This time, the fire chidan was auctioned at a high price, and the failure of the task of sending fire chidan to each other made Bing Shin feel a little guilty in her heart. "Senior sister, don't be sad, there is a master here." Lin Zhu, who was beside him, smiled slowly. Seeing this, Bing Shin immediately felt relieved, and then looked at her master slightly. The poison sect master smiled. "Who is poisoned this time?" Even if the middle-aged woman wore a veil, she couldn't hide her dust-like beauty at all. It's just that when he said these words, whether it was Lin Zhu or Bing Shin, they felt a trace of displeasure from under the tulle. "Sect Master, this time there are two Jia's soil walkers, Master Lu and Dan Wang Chenshin," Bing Shin said. "Okay. Tu Jia Soil Traveler, Master Lu, Pil King Chen Shin, son Dalong of the Sun family. The sect master of these ledger books will let you settle them one by one sooner or later. Is the person from the poison sect also something you can provoke?" After the middle-aged woman finished speaking, she was instantly furious, and her voice turned into an extremely terrifying wave and turned towards Xulo. "It's actually the sect master of the poison sect." At this moment, Elder Zhu was also certain that this breath was the sect master of the poison sect today. A true immortal warrior. "Next, it's time to settle the account between us. You actually stole something from my poison sect disciple, Zhu Jin. What do you think about this matter?" After the middle-aged woman finished speaking, a terrifying fighting spirit filled with black and white instantly appeared around her. "Where does this talk come from?" Xulo heard the words, and immediately frowned. This poison sect master is a real immortal fighter, and his strength is far from his half-immortal. After all, the gap between a real Dozian and a half-immortal is not a little bit. A half-immortal powerhouse can easily defeat a 9-star Do D-level powerhouse in the cloud. And the real fighting immortal powerhouse, I am afraid that just because of the 5-star coercion, the 9-star fighting emperor powerhouse will retreat without a fight. Because everyone knows that the power of life and death is born in the body of the strong Dozian, and its purpose is far beyond what Dodi can resist. Humph. I really don't know how someone like you can come out of the Funxiang Pavilion. The sect master of the poison sect snorted coldly. The blacken of life and death outside the body continued to violently tumble, causing the Do Chi in Xulo's body to suffer a lot. Suppress. Fighting immortals are really fighting immortals. Seeing this, Xulo had no choice but to give up. The next moment, Elder Zhu instantly took out the round fire unicorn pill, and threw it directly to the sect master of the poison sect. Because Xulo knew that although this poison sect master is a real fighting immortal strongman, he has some relationship with the master of their burning incense pavilion, so he will not take action against him. "Do you think this is the end?" The poison sect master sneered after taking the Huaqidan throne over by Xulo. "Sect master of poison sect, don't go too far." Seeing that sect master of poison sect didn't have the slightest intention to stop, he immediately said solemnly, "No one knows the difference between Dozian and Banzian better than Xulo. Otherwise, Elder Zhu would not have been trapped in the half-immortal for many years. Master, I was surrounded by Master Lu and Dan Wangchen just now, and it was Senior Zhu who saved me. Since the things are in hand, let's go back as soon as possible." Bing Shin, who was on the side, said worriedly, but she was very aware of her master's strength. "Yes." The poison sect master slowly responded to Bing Shin, and then instantly changed his face to face Xulo. "Excessive? Who is more excessive? You should go back and ask your pavilion masters." After the poisonous sect master said, he did not give Xulo any time to speak, and then shot directly. The terrifying black and white power of life and death is under the control of the sect master Yusho of the poison sect, bringing the monstrous aura of death and surging towards Xulo. With such a terrifying blow, if it hit Elder Zhu, I'm afraid he will have to peel off his skin if he doesn't die. "Bastard!" Boss Zhu scolded, and then activated the majestic fighting spirit in his body. The next moment, a silver battle chi instantly possessed the body, and outside the body surface, a black and white force of life and death also appeared, but Elder Zhu's force of life and death was obviously extremely weak compared to the sect master of the poison sect. "Fenshin, today I will kill you sect strongman to take revenge." There was anger in the voice of the poisonous sect master, and then suddenly his figure moved, and instantly appeared in front of Xulo, with a majestic sign of life and death on the palm of his hand. The force swung directly at Xulo. Xiaohan, why are you suffering? It was really me who was wrong. Just as Mr. Zhu was shocked, he hurriedly prepared to use the formation to deal with this terrifying attack, and a white light appeared instantly. With the appearance of the white light, the terrifying blow of the Dozian level, the sect master of the poison sect, will be easily resolved. Burning the sky. How dare you show up? Looking at the figure in white light, the sect master of poison sect didn't turn his head back, he just shouted loudly. Master's mood seems to fluctuate a lot. This is not good. Although the master can completely control the poisonous body of evil now, but once the master breaks out the poisonous body of evil, the consequences are unimaginable. Bing Shin sensed that the calm heart in her master's body seemed to be beating violently, and she immediately murmured, Xiaohan. The white light gradually turned into a middle-aged man. The man had long black hair and was tied on top of his forehead by a bundle of hair. His angular silhouette looked extremely handsome. Don't call me Xiaohan, the poison sect master shouted angrily, and then a wonderful change took place around his body. The power of life and death that originally made up for the sect master of the poison sect slowly disappeared, and was replaced by an extremely terrifying poisonous gas. The poisonous gas is colorful. If you count it carefully, there are as many as 7 colors in the poisonous gas. Xiaohan, calm down. If you stimulate your poisonous gas, the poison will kill all life in this radius. Fen Tian said hurriedly. Haha, it's really rare that the famous Fenxiang Pavilion owner, Fen Tian, would be so afraid. Life is charred. But that's right, you Fen Tian is an upright person who slays demons and defends Dao, and I'm just a female devil with blood on my hands. Xiaohan laughed at himself. Even through the veil, the 2 disciples, Lin Zhu and Bing Shin, could hear some clues from the master's mouth. It seems that the relationship between master and Fen Tian, the master of the Fenxiang Pavilion, is really unusual. Lin Zhu muttered to herself, because these things are taboos in the poison sect, and no one will mention them at all. Xiaohan, if I make a mistake, I'm sorry. When I finish the last thing, I'll come to your poison sect to guard the mountain. You can forgive me or not. Fen Tian said with a somewhat self-conscious expression. Don't you have the master of Wanhua Pavilion? Why are you still pestering me? After Xiaohan heard Fen Tian's words, his heart that was beating violently at that moment calmed down. She and I were just a misunderstanding. Wait for me to explain it to you slowly, Fen Tian hurriedly said, for fear that Xiaohan would misunderstand. It's up to you, I still have something to go first. After listening to Fen Tian's words, the sect master of poison sect said calmly, but Bing Shin found that her master's emotions had calmed down on her own. Next time, I will definitely give you an explanation. Fen Tian said to the sect master of the poison sect. Hopefully. The poison sect master said lightly, and then the poison gas all over his body violently wriggled, and the next moment he disappeared without a trace. Xiaohan, I'm sorry for you. But don't worry, I am sincere to you. Fenxiang stared at the place where the 3 of Xiaohan disappeared, and did not move for a long time. Xulo, who was beside him, coughed a few times when he saw this. Following old Zhu's coughing, it seemed as if something had happened to Fenxian in front of him, and the classmates coughed a few times. Zhu Jin, I've worked hard for you these days when I'm not here. Fen Tian turned to look at old Zhu, and then spoke slightly. Where is the Pavilion Master? Elder Zhu smiled slowly, but the surprise in his eyes could not be hidden. The Pavilion Master made a breakthrough? Xulo asked tentatively. Well, I just got lucky a few days ago. Fen Tian murmured while staring at the distant sky. Congratulations to the Pavilion Master. Xulo heard the words and was immediately overjoyed. This so-called breakthrough is not just a breakthrough to Dozian. After all, Fen Tian has already broken through to Dozian hundreds of years ago. The less people know about the news of my exit, the better. Because I still have some things to do. Fen Tian said slightly. Pavilion Master, the Xianling imperial family once sent 7-star Dudi strong men to surround and suppress our new 4-star Dodi disciples in the Xianling imperial pond. Xulo said. That old monster from the Xianling royal family. In the middle stage of 1-star fighting immortals, there will be no climate. After Fen Tian finished speaking, an even bigger aura appeared instantly. I still have something to do, just leave it here. After Fen Tian finished speaking, he disappeared in place in an instant, leaving old Zhu alone. Now, our burning incense pavilion seems to be rising, Elder Zhu said excitedly. The next moment, Elder Zhu also said to himself, those little guys should also go to the Desert of Death to practice. I should also go to the Medusa clan to see. The Xianling royal family dispatched the entire dragon-loving family. The people of the Legion went to the Medusa family. I don't know what the hell. After speaking, the figure disappeared and headed towards the Medusa family. The scorching sun hangs high in the sky, and countless lime sands are paved on the ground. There are hot fluctuations everywhere. Obviously, it is difficult for ordinary people to miss such a temperature. This is the most western part of Shentian-san, a place known as the Lonely Desert of Death. On the edge of a mountain range around the Lonely Desert of Death, there are several houses here. The houses are hidden in the bamboo forest, and few people will find them. Several figures are rushing towards here, headed by a man with a heavy weight on his back. It should be right here. But why is there no one? Xiao Yang came here, and then looked around. Little brother Xiao Yang. Just when Xiao Yang was puzzled, a familiar voice sounded, and then a lean man appeared in Xiao Yang's line of sight. It was the stall owner who had an agreement with Xiao Yang before. It really makes us look good, Xiao Yang said with a smile. Xiao Yang and his party of 3, since they escorted Lu Ding Sanhuatong to the snake people with Ludi Mufeng and the two separated, Xiao Yang felt a signal of gathering according to the power that the coyote left on him, and he went here. The coyote was not too surprised when he saw Xiao Yang and the 3 of them. After all, although he only asked Xiao Yang to go to the desert for them to solve something similar to soul power, he did not say that they could not bring followers. The coyote felt a little bit, and found that Xiao Yang was surrounded by a man and a woman, and it was really not easy. The man is Xiao Yi, but at this time, Xiao Yi's strength is under his own deliberate suppression, and only shows the strength of the 5-star Do Emperor consummation. But this is also amazing. You must know that Xiao Yang is only a 4-star Do Emperor consummation. The strength, actually able to invite the 5-star Do Emperor to complete the powerhouse, plus the identity of this refining pharmacist is enough to make the coyote look at it differently. As for Mu Yingying, she was naturally still in the middle stage of the 5-star Do Emperor. The coyote couldn't help being a little surprised. Although this Xiao Yang was only a 4-star Do Emperor, he could actually let 2 5-star Do Emperor experts accompany him. This pharmacist's appeal was indeed extraordinary. The regiment leader and the others are already ready. When we arrive, we can go. The coyote grinned. Then let's go. Xiao Yang didn't talk nonsense. After all, he and them were considered a cooperative relationship. Hey, if you leave, don't worry, we still have to wait for 2 people. The coyote said slightly. There are still 2 people waiting. Xiao Yang frowned instantly when he heard the words. Hey, little brother, our Bloodblade mercenary group has no other meaning. These 2 just have some relationship with our Bloodblade mercenary group, so I'll take it with you. But I can guarantee that this time I will go to the desert of the Lonely Desert of Death. It's all up to the little brother. Xiao Yang hurriedly said when the coyote's eyesight was just frowning. After all, this alchemist with the soul power of the emperor level, who is not greedy for life and fear of death, it's not easy. This Xiao Yang dared to come, and they naturally did not dare to offend. After all, the alchemist was a hornet's nest, and it was easy to stab it. Then wait. But who are these 2? Xiao Yang heard the words. Hihi, these 2 are said to be friends of the regiment leader. I don't know the specifics. After the coyote finished speaking, he glanced at Xiao Yang and the others, and then quickly turned around. A friend of the leader. It is said that the head of this Bloodblade mercenary group is an 8-star Do Emperor level powerhouse, and the group also has a 7-star Do Emperor perfection level powerhouse, and the other 6-star Do Emperor also have 2. As for the number of 5-star fighting emperors, there are quite a few. Such a terrifying lineup is comparable to some small families. Xiao Yang whispered in his heart. Before coming, Xulo not only gave him the Do Di pill, but also instructed him a few things, so Xiao Yang also knew a little about this Bloodblade mercenary group. This person's strength seems to be good. Xiao Yi on the side whispered. Since he just came here, he has found that although this coyote is extremely thin, his strength is extremely good, obviously reaching the level of 6-star Do Emperor consummation. The 6-star Do Emperor perfection level is only 1 step away from the 7-star Do Emperor powerhouse. I don't know why so many powerhouses will be dispatched in this desert area. Xiao Yang quickly calculated that he had dispatched so many people. Based on Xiao Yang's experience, he naturally knew that the things are certainly not ordinary things. Come on. The surrounding space fluctuated slightly, and then instantly turned into an invisible wave of fighting spirit, and the 2 figures instantly appeared not far away. This is. When Xiao Yang first appeared, his soul power locked them, but what surprised Xiao Yang was that these 2 were friends of the head of the Bloodblade mercenary group. This is simply Shenshan, the prince of the Shenling royal family. The other one was a little older, although Xiao Yang felt that his strength was mediocre, but an invisible pressure let Xiao Yang know that this old man was by no means an ordinary person. Let me introduce, the younger one is Das Han, and the old one is Das Hui. The coyote said with a smile. Since it was night and day, and with some minor changes in the appearances of Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying, Shenshan did not discover the true identities of Xiao Yang and the three of them. Strange, why does this person have a familiar smell? Shenshan just came here, and found that the figure surrounded by a black cloak had a familiar smell, it's just that can't remember for a long time. The identities of Shenshan and Xulo were forged, but the purpose of their trip was to cross this desert of death. Traveling through the desert of death is something that no one has ever done before. This is also the meaning of the old. If you want to become a strong man in charge of an entire army, then this kind of experience is essential. It is not so much an experience as a test of Shenshan by the old man. After all, every head and deputy head of the three major legions of the Shenling royal family is the best choice in terms of strength and temperament. This person is an emperor-level pharmacist. We are with us on this trip, and we hope that the two of them will protect him at the critical moment. Coyote said. Well, that's natural. Shenshan and Old Shua said. It's just that after the old man finished speaking, he stared at Xiao Yang from time to time, and a trace of anxiety arose in his heart. Strange, there seems to be some secret about this kid, even I can't see it through. The old man said in a low voice, and he was instantly relieved after speaking, otherwise it would be bad to arouse the vigilance of the man in black. Brother, this person is very strong. Xiao Yi on the side said slightly. These words were obviously conveyed by Xiao Yi using her soul power to Xiao Yang. Well, I know, I am afraid that the strength of the third prince of the Shenling royal family will not be lower than that of the 7-star Do Emperor, or even stronger. Xiao Yang responded. Still be careful. Xiao Yang said to Mu Yingying and Xiao Yi at the same time. Yes. The two nodded at the same time. This video will end here.